Extreme sports look thrilling on camera, but behind the stunts are stories written in blood and broken bones. One mistake and adrenaline turns into agony. Let's count the most painful deaths in extreme sports. Number 1, the wingsuit coffin. So you've probably seen wingsuit flyers online. Those people who look like Batman cosplayers jumping off cliffs and pretending gravity is just a suggestion. Here's the deal. The wingsuit is essentially a flying squirrel costume for humans. And sure, it looks graceful on YouTube, but in reality, it's basically strapping yourself into a fabric coffin and hoping the laws of physics feel generous today. One wrong gust of wind, one miscalculated turn, and your body becomes a physics lesson smeared across a canyon wall. The pain? Imagine slamming into concrete at highway speed, except you don't get airbags, just a GoPro capturing your last sponsored by Red Bull moment. Extreme sports marketing says no fear, reality says no spine. Number 2, deep water free diving. Humans weren't designed to be submarines, but tell that to free divers. They hold their breath and sink into black ocean voids just to flex lung capacity. The risk? A little thing called shallow water blackout, where your brain just decides, nope, I'm out, and you pass out underwater. If nobody grabs you in time, the ocean handles the rest. Lungs burning, blood vessels popping, and a silent, crushing panic that makes drowning feel like being suffocated by the entire planet at once. Free diving isn't about freedom. It's about giving gravity and water a tag team match on your body. Number 3, free solo, cliff climbing. You know that feeling when you walk up the stairs without holding the railing and think, wow, I'm such a daredevil? Yeah, congratulations. You've basically done more safety planning than a free solo climber. This is the sport where people decide ropes are for cowards, helmets are for nerds, and life insurance is apparently optional. Armed with nothing but sweaty palms and an ego the size of the cliff. The danger? It's not hidden. It's literally every centimeter of rock. One slip and you don't fall. You plummet. The sound effect is less ouch and more splat. Followed by a canyon echo that screams, "Nice try, genius." You get a few glorious seconds of airtime where your brain goes, wait, am I flying? No, buddy. You're just fast-tracking into a geology lesson. Free soloing isn't about conquering nature. It's about losing an argument with gravity in the funniest way possible. Number 4, motocross chaos. Motocross isn't really a sport. It's a live crash test experiment. Riders jump on these dirt rockets, hit a ramp, and soar through the air like birds, until they remember birds have wings and they've only got ribs. The landings? Rarely smooth. More often it's a face-first dive into mud, with the rider tumbling like a ragdoll, while the bike pirouettes gracefully on its own. The soundtrack? Not victory cheers, but a combo of boom, then crack. That oddly familiar sound of, well, you breaking. Motocross doesn't test skill. It just counts how many bones you can donate per lap. Number 5, big wave, surfing wipeout. Big wave surfing looks epic. A tiny human riding a moving skyscraper of water. Everyone's clapping. Wow, poetry in motion. One slip and you're not surfing anymore. You're auditioning for the role of lost flip-flop. The wave grabs you, spins you like a fidget toy, then slams you down so hard you start negotiating with Neptune. You pop up, gasping for air, thinking you survived, and boom, another wall of water slaps you like a giant salty pancake. Surfers call it a wipeout. The rest of us call it slapstick comedy, ocean-sized edition. Big wave surfing isn't freedom. It's a surprise party thrown by the sea, and you're the piñata. Number 6, skydiving malfunction. Skydiving looks amazing in ads. Happy people, big smiles, floating through clouds like angels. But angels don't yank a cord and hear nothing. You pull once, nothing. You pull again, harder, still nothing. Now you're falling at terminal velocity with the same energy as a Wi-Fi router that refuses to connect. Sure, there's a backup chute, but that one has the personality of a prankster. Sometimes it opens backwards, sometimes it ties itself in knots. Sometimes it just says, "Good luck, meatball." Meanwhile, your brain is doing stand-up comedy in panic mode. Did I really pay money to speedrun my own obituary? The view is breathtaking, mostly because the ground is rushing up like it's late for a meeting. Skydiving isn't chasing the sky, it's giving Earth the chance to slap you so hard, gravity applauds. Number 7. Avalanche ski trap. Skiing looks elegant. Shiny goggles, smooth turns, the kind of sport that makes you feel like James Bond on vacation. Then crack. Surprise. The mountain decides to follow you home. 1 second you're showing off perfect turns, the next you're cartwheeling downhill while a wall of snow chases you like it's late for dinner. The avalanche doesn't just knock you over, it folds you, spins you, and stuffs snow into every pocket, ear, and nostril you've got. Breathing, that's canceled. The crowd calls it nature's beauty.
Oh, no!
You call it being shoved into a freezer set to chaos mode. Skiing isn't about carving the slopes. It's about discovering how fast a luxury holiday can turn into an all-inclusive funeral package. Number 8. Bungee cord. Snap. Bungee jumping is marketed as safe adrenaline. You jump, you scream, the cord stretches, and everyone laughs because you lived. Feels like fun. Until the cord remembers it's basically just a giant office rubber band. Snap. Now you're not bouncing like a yo-yo, you're dropping like an overdue Amazon package. People on the bridge are still cheering, until they realize the show just turned into a crime scene. And even when the cord holds, it doesn't behave. Too long? You kiss a rock. Too short? Congratulations. You've invented instant chiropractic care. Bungee jumping isn't about facing fear. It's about trusting your life to the same elastic energy that usually holds together a bag of broccoli. Number 9. Whitewater rafting. Flip. Whitewater rafting looks like team adventure. Friends paddling together, laughing, conquering nature. But the river doesn't care about friendship. One wrong wave and the whole raft flips faster than a cheap pancake. Suddenly you're not paddling anymore. You're in spin cycle. The water drags you under, slams you into rocks, and shoots you back up just in time for another wave to slap you down again. The guides call it excitement. You call it being waterboarded by Mother Nature with extra rocks. Rafting isn't teamwork. It's a group discount ticket to the washing machine of death. Number 10. Bull riding. Beatdown. Bull riding sounds simple. Stay on for 8 seconds. But the moment the gate opens, the bull launches like it just remembered you owe it money. You're bouncing, jerking, and holding on for dear life while the crowd counts slower than they ever have in their lives. Then, boom, you're airborne. Not gracefully, just a flailing human projectile landing flat in the dirt. Before you can stand, the bull turns back like, "Round 2?" And suddenly you're sprinting in cowboy boots that were never designed for sprinting. The crowd is cheering, the clowns are panicking, and you're realizing this isn't a sport. It's 8 seconds of trying not to become a speed bump with a hat. Bull riding doesn't test courage. It tests how fast you can regret signing the waiver.